Okay, I'm here in the dirty shop. Still as dirty as it always was, and probably will be for a while. I have a little project here. I bought one of these Alienware, I think they're called Alienware, or Alien Gear. An Alien Gear holster for my SIG 365 XL. I bought the holster before I decided to put the optic on. And of course, the gun won't slide all the way into the holster. It's about a 1/4 inch short. And see if I can't get that 1/4 of an inch that I need to slide the gun all the way into the holster. That 365 is a nice little 9mm, nice light, easily concealed. And this is an inside the waistband holster, which is pretty comfortable. It's got a neoprene backing, wicks up the sweat, keeps this hard plastic off your body. And then this tucks inside your waistband. You wear a belt. So if I can get this gun to lock into this holster, I might carry this gun a little bit more often than I do. I'm going to shut the video off, and off camera I'm going to follow this line right here, almost in an L shape, all the way this way, and then as straight up 90 degrees as I can go, right just before this tab right here, this open close tab, and just chop off this piece of plastic. Now this is only one side that this plastic is on. The back side of this is open, so I only need to chop off this and get rid of it. And then I think I can slide this in all the way, and the gun will lock, and I'll be able to use it with the optic. Okay, I'm gonna shut this off, and I'll turn the camera back on once I get it done. Okay, well, I chopped it off, and probably didn't have to cut off that much, but it bottoms out in the holster now. You can see it touches the end of the holster. By the way, the gun's been safety checked. It's not loaded, no magazine. Trigger guard covers the trigger, locks in the holster pretty good. So I think I got that licked. Now I can carry this gun with the optic inside the waist with this very comfortable holster made by Alienware. Oh, the plastic looks to be pretty high quality. I noticed that when I cut it, there were some carbon fibers of some sort in there too. So I think it's gonna take a polish pretty well. So when I get home, I'll get my Dremel after that and polish up the edges and try to make it look finished like the rest of the holster. But one project down today. Okay, project number 2. This is a frame that I built in order to set, I think that's 6 by 6 inch tiles. Those Mexican tiles. I don't know, my wife got it in her head that those red Mexican tiles would look good in her kitchen, so she bought a bunch of them, and then we had to set them. The only problem with the smaller tiles is that you've got to set more tiles, which makes more work for you. So I made this little frame that you can index off the row before with these 3 prongs, and then use this as your joint spacing, and then, you know, lay a bed of mortar and then place your 6 tiles tap them in place, pick up the frame, and move down the line. Makes things faster, more accurate. We're done with the floor. I'll show you the results of that when I get the floor cleaned up, because right now we're still doing a lot of remodeling. Right now I'm working on a bathroom and putting on shower wall tile. So we got some cleanup to do. Okay, so that's project number 2 today. I wanted to share with you. Project number 3, this is gonna be a whole video in itself. Unfortunately, I forgot the part that I needed. I bought a Lyman shell holder. This is for high-powered rifle ammunition to reload like 308 and 223 ammunition or bullets. After you've shot the ammunition a few times, it tends to elongate and work harden, and you have to do some heat treatment and trimming of the brass. So I wanted to develop an accurate and cheap way of trimming my brass, something that would make my brass come out consistent, and so that I wouldn't have to worry much about the neck tensioning on seating bullets and things like that. So I found this company, I think they're called Henderson Precision. I'll put the name up on the screen once I look it up, because I don't remember the name of the company. But they make these cutter heads that go into a special machine that they sell at about $800. And these cutter heads are like $70 each. There's 2 knives in there, one that will cut the case to length and the other that does the chamfering inside and out. So it makes a nice bevel cut and takes the burrs off the edge so that you don't shave your bullets when you go and seat your bullets. So I figured I could chuck these, because they've got this little end here that is almost like a drill shaft. I can chuck that in my lathe, and then I'm gonna have to finagle a way to chuck the shell holder into my drill chuck here in the tailstock, so that I can meet the cutter concentrically here and devise a way to measure accurately with a dial caliper or something similar the final length of the case, which I believe is just over like 2.18 or 2.09 or something like that. I know for a 308 the overall length with the bullet is supposed to be about 2.8 inches. I think the case length is something like 2.18 or 2.19 or something close. Always look up those numbers, don't go by what I'm saying on this video, but in case you do decide to trim your own 308, you know, get yourself a good reloading manual and find out what the case length is supposed to be. But this thing, if I can design it well enough, it should make it almost brainless and fast and precise. I'll use the tailstock to hold the shell holder, and I'll spin the cutter head in the head of the lathe and marry those two with some sort of a stop and get consistent lengths and nicely trimmed brass. I guess that'll be after the cases are annealed. I mean, I'll have a project for the annealing too. I'll show you that later. Over here I have this other project, which is rehabbing this refrigerator. In the summertime, I want a place to put my beer and root beer and Mountain Dew. See, I live in the Midwest. We all drink Mountain Dew out here. That's how we rot our teeth so well. Mountain Dew, put all that in there so that I got, my wife would kill me if she heard me talking about putting soda in a refrigerator. I'd be dead right now. But I'm gonna, so the refrigerator, for whatever reason, wasn't getting cold. I believe that the cool air comes from the freezer down below. It's one of those drawer type freezers. And then through the back of the refrigerator, there's a channel with a fan that pushes the cold air from the freezer into the refrigerator to give it the final temperature in the refrigerator. And I think that fan or the temperature sensor that turns the fan off and on, one of those two is not functioning correctly, so the refrigerator is not cooling like it should. So I'm gonna work on that, see if I can figure out how to fix that. I think the compressor and everything's working fine because the freezer's working, so that's probably not gonna be the case. That's probably not gonna be where the fault lies. I'm gonna make that a project too. I still have not forgot about the European deer mounts. That's gonna be kind of a woodworking project. I've gotten most of the tissue off the skulls. I just need to do the final blanching or yeah, you know, the whitening of the skull, using some sort of hydrogen peroxide concoction and some cream or something to keep it close to the skull and let it sit and kind of whiten. I might even do another boil to whiten those skulls. I use those skulls as a deterrent for my dogs. I threaten my dogs when they act up. I say, that's what I'm gonna do to your head if you're a bad girl. Are you a bad girl, Pebbles? You're not a bad girl. You're the best doggy. You're the best doggy in the world. And so is Max. Max is the best German Shepherd. Keeps watch at the door, make sure nobody sneaks up on me. Look at him. All right, that's Max and that's Pebbles. They're always with me. So that's still a project in the future. Let's see. This will be featured in some videos. It's my bandsaw mill for milling out boards from felled trees. I haven't used it yet. I just got it all put together. It's all dialed in, runs like a top. Just gotta get it out there and start cutting wood with it. Future project. Let's see, there was one other. Oh, the mezzanine. See how high those windows are. I'm gonna build a platform somewhere between 8 and 10 feet away from the wall with storage underneath for like my UTVs and that crap to store underneath, and then an office space on top with a view outside the windows, outside the building with those windows. Anyway, that's that. I put my holster on. And it's comfortable. More on that later, I guess. All right, well, I think we're done for now. Till next time. Sorry I didn't have more for you. But always remember, spend time in your garage, do fun little projects, especially if you're, you know, the equivalent of what a male used to be in the old days. I'm sure you enjoy building things and coming up with things, unless you're like one of them transvestites or something, then I don't know what you're into. But, you know, spend time in your garage because life is short.